Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith of Smiths in the Black, and we're coming into the second quarter, so that means we uncouple from the year, so we'll have different quarterly and yearly openings. So coming in, we know SPY outside quarter three, getting closer to taking out the highs, so, but not there yet, but we do have an outside quarter, and for the year, right there's a slight hammer here, it's just looking like the quarter because it's the same thing, but still, that was a slight 2 to the upside. If you go to QQQ, here Q's still inside on the year, and so there's that. And the quarterly here took that quarter, was a 2 down, but comes back into the middle of the range. So how are you going to get outside of that is what we want to know of. If we go to the Dow Jones Diamonds, diamonds looking similar, outside quarter, and slight 2-year but red. So we'll see how that goes. Small cappers, and small cappers went 2 down on the year but came back into the range. All right, so that's key area down there. If that takes that out again, because then that's 322 on the year, but recovers with the rest of the market here a bit. If we go to the quarter, remember this chop shop mess here, so was a 3-2 down, but once again, somewhat middle of the range here to take out, so we got some distance on some of these quarters. Go to the transports, and transports leave the quarter 281.45, still inside quarter potential Momo hammer here, and that means right now still an inside year, but you're closer to taking out the highs, so we'll see how that goes. XLU here, 2 up on the year, and so Utes your winners so far out of these guys. Go to the quarterly, there's your Momo hammer quarter if they want to keep blasting out the Utes. Go to XLP, potential Momo hammer quarter 2. For the year, still a 2 up, similar because it's the same bar. If we go to VNQ REITs, VNQ still inside on the year, and a lot of these things looking real similar here so far, but we'll get to some more fun stuff. Quarter was a 2 down, right, but rallies all the way back to here, so there's that. If we go to XLE, nice quarter, bright and green too, coming back through all these guys, took them out, and we know that the energies are the 212 year and had a nice opening quarter, OIH here to a lesser extent, but we'll see how that goes. And that's over 248.09, you're handily there on the inside year to the upside. Quarter took those inside 2 quarters up a little bit, so we'll see if that picks up any more steam for us. If we go to gold, and gold popped up and came back in, so it was a 2 up quarter, but now back middle of the quarter range as it took the inside year to the upside but got back down. So GLD, we're going to look for that 183.21. Right, that's your key level for that inside year. And if you want to go to GDX, you got this big mother bar in here on the year to try and take out. If we go to FAS, 2 year to the upside but red and dead middle of this yearly range, and that's going to give you a quarter that looks like this. Look at this. How are you going to get out of that on that quarter? Big outside quarter and stuck like right in the middle of it. If we go to XME, XME had a nice quarter on the year, 2 up. And that was a nice reversal last year, the 3-2, and now continuing for the XME. If we go to SMH, I believe took that out. Nope. SMH still inside on the year with the Qs. The quarter was a 2 down. But once again, middle of the range in XLK. Here, once again, middle of the range. So all that stuff needs to get taken out. If we go to the inside quarters, you got NVIDIA is an inside quarter, a little bit closer to taking up the highs, but there was a big range on that quarter. If we go to Pfizer, Inside quarter, nowhere near taking it out. If we go to LAC, inside quarter and closer to taking out the highs here. If we go to Cisco, inside quarter but closer to taking out the lows, that's a 3-1 quarter. If we go to Plan, P-A-L-A-N, inside quarter but closer to taking out the highs, Macy's, tight inside quarter, so we'll see how that goes. Over 28.52. Let's go to Merck, inside quarter and closer to taking out the highs. Over that 82.70. Marvell, inside quarter, nowhere near taking it out. We go to Lowe's, inside quarter and closer to taking out the downside here. 206.24, and it's XHB. 2 down on the quarter, took the 2 down quarter. Right, looks like RevStrat quarter to me too. If you go to the year on the XHB home builders, still an inside year, but blood red, so potential trouble over there. If we go to BSX, inside quarter and tight, at about 45.31. Go to IBM. Inside quarter, dead in the middle, and look at this Mother Bar quarters, all these guys in here, stuck in this thing. If we go to Krispy Kreme donut, inside quarter, nowhere near taking that thing out either. Go with Norfolk Southern, inside quarter, but closer taking out the highs, and that's going to be a 298.99. ICE, inside quarter, closer taking out the highs of 137.40. AVGO, inside quarter, but closer taking out the highs above 672.19. Wolf, inside quarter, hammer, closer taking out the highs 125.58. Emerson Electric, inside quarter, above 99.95. Splunk, 3-1 on the quarter and closer to taking out the highs above 145.35. LPI in the energies, inside quarter, and that would break above here. 88.30. Sienna, inside quarter, nowhere near taking it out. Car, inside quarter, nowhere near taking out this Mother Bar, but if you take this out, you would be quarter to the upside over 299.33. Inside and up on the year. Oops. Oxy. Nice 212 with all these energies. You got ExxonMobil here, handily so. You've got Coke still holding on. The 312 hits magnitude, but it's still good so far. You've got Slab still holding on above 36.87. Chevron, handily so. APA, still good, above 31.14. SU, RTX, 312, just going into the highs, exhaustion risk. Valero, still good on the year. Southern, Utes, just hitting exhaustion risk in the 312. Trans-Canada Pipelines, 312 on the year, over 55.34. GLNG, get over 1512, handily so. If you go to NOV, just barely, but over 1802, so that's still good on the year. AEP, more Ute. 312 got some more magnitude. That's over the 9149. VTR and the REITs over 6109. Dominion, more Ute, 312 over 8108. OKE, 312 over 6678. LMT hits magnitude, but still year and upper over 396.99. Tyson Chicken's backing off after hitting magnitude. That's still good over 87.50. SRE hits magnitude. Ute 312 over 144.93. Handily so. Hormel, some Chile, over 50.86. ED, more Ute, still good. Helmut Payne, Oil Services, over 36.26. BXP, more REIT, 312. 124.24. WLL over 71.61. You're there. I think we'll leave it at that. You get the idea what the theme is there. Quarterly hammers, Momo Hammer Apple above 182.94. American Airlines quarterly hammer over 1976. Microsoft, 2 down, 2 up hammer, though, if it takes out 338. Intel, somewhat of a hammer, but it's a 3. It would be a 3-2 to the upside if you can take out 56.28. SQ, hammer up above 165.20. Tezslers, 222 for 102, 1200.08. Plug, hammer counter shooter over 29.78. Nikola, hammer counter shooter over 11.87. NCLH. Mother bar issues all stuck in here like a lot of pandemics. But over 23.90. Hewlett Packard. Momo Hammer, HPQ, over 40.37. QS, hammer counter shooter, over 23.68. United Airlines, mother bar issues, stuck in this thing, but over 50.94. Delta, over 45.14. CSX Rail, Momo Hammer, over 38.63. Walmart, stuck and all in here, but hammer over 150.18. Lulu, hammer counter shooter, over 394.49. Mara, hammer counter shooter, over 35.48. Visa, Hammer over 235.85. Workhorse over 524. Juniper Momo Hammer over 37.92. Johnson & Johnson Momo Hammer over 179.86. Ron 322 over 36. Riot Blockchain 322 over 24.63. Oracle Hammer Counter Shooter over 89.58. Ride, ooh, over 384. LTHM Hammer Counter Shooter over 26.93. Net Hammer Counter Shooter over 132.45. CrowdStrike 322 over 231.50. Pepsi Momo Hammer over 177.24. Texas Instruments over 192.10. UNH Momo Hammer over 521.20. XLV, let's take a look at what's going on here. XLV, regular hammer, it looks like. You hold the inside quarter. Nope. It's a regular hammer, XLV, so that with the UNH. Letter O. Mother bar issues in here. REIT over 72.54. Paychecks. 2 down hammer. Not too much magnitude on it, but high over 137.56. FAST above 64.10. General Mills Momo Hammer over 69.95. SunPower 322 up over 22.35. Cerner, nah, too small. Things are getting bought out. Analog Devices Hammer Counter Shooter over 179.52. Amazon Hammer Counter Shooter. Is that inside? Yep. RevStrat Amazon over 428. BE Hammer Counter Shooter over 25.82. Target 322 Hammer Counter Shooter over 236.32. Lily Momo Hammer over 295.33. Costco Momo Hammer over 578.25. iPaper Hammer over 49.74. ENPH 322 Hammer Counter Shooter Solar over 203.85. Akamai 3.2 Momo Hammer over 121.20. OGE Momo Hammer over 40.64. Bumble Hammer over 35.76. ELSL Momo Hammer over 69.99. SWCH Momo Hammer over 31.07. Live Nation. Looks like an inside quarter Momo Hammer. 126.79. DG 3.2 over 240.14. ZI Hammer Counter Shooter over 65.21. ZBH quarter hammer over 133.59. Humana hammer up at the XLV over 465.86. FSLR more solar. Hammer Counter Shooter over 91.36. CHRW Momo Hammer Tranny for 112.15. TripAdvisor over 30.48. Google 3.2 over 3,030.93. I think that's enough for that. Inside and down on the year, Citicorp below 57.40. Inside year and down, ZM below 174.66. FIS below 101.79. VFC below 65.34. Hasbro 1 bar Rev Strat year 3 below 86.05. BKI below 68.60. Kimberly Clark 1 bar Rev Strat down below 125.27. Clorox year and down below 156.23. Hammer Counter Shooter year for VRTX over 242.99. Shooter down on the year, Palantir below 17.06. Riven shooter year down below 88.40. Handily so. Snap below 42.96. Twitter 322 year to the downside below 4101. RH 322 shooter down below 41188. Wayfair 322 shooter down below 183.74. Carvana 322 shooter down below 194.70. NVAX shooter down below 109.01. Letter S below 39.94. Triple M shooter counters hammer year below 163.38. Overstock. Mother bar issues, but shooter down below 46.75. Foot Locker. Shooter counters hammer below 38.90. SWK 322 year down below 167.65. SWKS below 142. TXG shooter down. Look out, way down below that 128.15. Big Lots 322 below 40.06. Okay, I think we can leave it at that. Shooter on the quarter, Wells Fargo below 45.77. Verizon below 50.80. It's KRE. Got a regional banks, KRE below 66.85. US Bank 3.2 below 52.44. Corning 3.2 down shooter below 33.93. Tyson Chickens quarterly shooter below 83.14. That would also get you back in the inside year. VMW Momo Shoot below 107.57. Polaris Inside Shooter below 102.33. Just a few 2 years of notes, continuations. CLF above 26.51, so you've got the inflation trades with letter X. It's a 2 up in the year. You don't get to say that very often. It is. Alcoa also having a nice 2 year, so a bunch of that inflation trade going along with a bunch of, obviously, the energies and utilities. Two down, 2-2 reversal down. Netflix on the year. And Facebook right now. So there's that. Keep an eye out for those guys. The big guy's still in trouble on it so far on a yearly basis. But we'll leave it at that. So let's start off the second quarter, uncoupling from the year openings, and we'll see how it goes. It's going to do it for the I'm Rob Smith, Mr. Black, the Macro Vid.